Wu facing a Diamondbacks lineup, a very good fastball hitting lineup for Torey Lovullo. Ketel Marte leading things off. Switch hitter on base a couple of times in last night's game. Then of course you can't talk about the Diamondbacks without talking about Seattle's own Corbin Carroll. He's reached base in 15 of his last 16 games. Nolan Arenado was in the original starting lineup. He was a somewhat late scratch. Arenado came off the bench last night dealing with a groin. He was then drilled at 98 on the tricep. He was in the lineup, now out. Jose Fernandez takes his place at third base and bats 8th. Well, for Bryan Woo, a guy who throws nearly as many fastballs as anybody in the game, Ryan, I'll be very curious to see how he attacks this pretty aggressive, contact-heavy, fastball-hitting Diamondbacks lineup.
It's always an interesting game to watch when you know that the opposing hitters there have the strength against what your best pitch is. Are you going to try and change what you do, or are you going to really lean in and trust your stuff? The bottom line is it comes down to the location and the execution. He's going to use a lot of sinkers against these right-handed hitters. We didn't see George Kirby get underneath the righty's hands enough yesterday, and I do think Woo's going to do a great job at that. And then obviously the equalizer, the sweeper. Does he bring that changeup, though, early on the game to neutralize some of these left-handed bats? We'll find out.
We shall see. Behind him tonight, of course, Cole Young is at second base, playing a really good second all year long. Meanwhile, the outfield, typical Rosarena, Julio, and Luke Raley. Emerson over at third. The former Diamondback Josh Naylor at first base, and Mitch Garver does the catching tonight in game 2. Ketel Marte last night saw his 11-game hit streak come to a close. Having a very strong start to the year. Who's first pitch, and it's clocked out to right field, and Raley comes in, takes a knee, and makes the catch.
That answers one of our questions of how aggressive will this Diamondbacks lineup be. Well, Luke Raley got a test early on in right field. That ball had a little bit of knuckle on it. No problem for Luke, was able to record the first out.
A grass stain, one pitch into the game.
His mom would be proud.
Here's Corbin Carroll. Carroll, a two-time All-Star, 6th in baseball in OPS. A couple of base hits last night for the Diamondbacks, batting close to 300 this year. He is one of 5 Snakes hitters who will bat left-handed tonight against Wu. You mentioned the possibility of seeing more changeups tonight. That has been a very good pitch for Wu this year against lefties. On a 1-1. Mariners snapped the Diamondbacks' 5-game winning streak last night. The Diamondbacks have played some really good baseball, even with the loss. Arizona's won 10 of their last 12, 11 of their last 14. Currently in 3rd place in the National League West. They trail the Dodgers by 5.5. 2-2. Strike 3 called. Paint at 96. Down and in. It locks up Corbin Carroll. Woo's first strikeout.
This is a healthy dose of fastballs, and the location, like we talked about, is going to matter right there. That ball is painted on the black end and just froze up Corbin Carroll early here.
2 up and 2 down. Here is Perdomo, who had a nice night last night. 3 hits in game 1, including a double and a homer. Only his 3rd home run this year. Big swing and a miss. In fact, he loses his balance. Well, we hear pitchers and catchers talking all the time about reading swings. Seems like there might have been something to read into there. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You just hope he wasn't baiting you right there.
Back-to-back fastballs his way. Climbs the ladder, a fastball up and out of the zone, and it's 1-2.
Well, Goldie, we're 9 pitches in, and I've seen 9 fastballs. Not a single secondary pitch, so that tells you the direction that Woo's at least going to go through this first time.
On a 1-2. Strike 3 called. The first breaking ball from Woo, and his second strikeout looking. A 10 pitch, 1-2-3, top of the first for Brian Woo. Starting the lineup tonight for manager Dan Wilson and the Mariners, J.P. Crawford batting leadoff. Last night, his first career multi-homer game. Julio, Naylor, and then Arozarena with the game winner last night. Luke Raley had one of the 4 home runs a night ago for the Mariners. Mitch Garver doing the catching. He bats 8 in front of Colt Emerson, rounding out the order. Well, the Mariners trying to get geared up for the fastball tonight, facing Ryan Nelson. He's making his 12th start of the year, and he can really rush it home.
Yeah, he's made some adjustments here in May. He's changed his pitch repertoire a little bit. It's still fastballs, but he's sprinkling a little bit more sinkers to the right-handed hitters. And then lefties are getting a healthy dose of the cutter up and in.
His first pitch is at 96 and fouled away. Now, between his 4-seamer, 2-seamer, and the cutter, he throws the fastball more than almost any other pitcher in baseball. And in an era of spin and 6 to 7, maybe even 8 pitches in a starting pitcher's repertoire, he's not messing around. It's mostly the heat.
I can guarantee that both sides tonight had one of the quickest hitters meetings you've seen all season long. Boys, you're getting fastballs. Get ready for it.
1-2 on JP. Crawford now with 9 home runs this year. Only 5 shortstops in all of baseball have more. 2 coming last night in game 1 for JP Crawford. Little inside out loop, and this dunks in for a base hit in left field. Leadoff man aboard for the Mariners. Statcast powered by Google Cloud shows us what Nelson offers. A lot of fastballs.
Well, I caught myself wondering in that 2-strike count, is he going to get creative and throw a secondary pitch? Nope, it's just going to be a fastball, and JP knew it. He will mix in some sliders and some cutters like we talked to, maybe a curveball sprinkled in here and there. But the bottom line is you are going to see a really good 4-seam fastball from start to finish tonight.
Leadoff man aboard for the Mariners in front of Julio. On the ground over to third. Fernandez has it to second. Marte to first. Julio is out, a double play, and then erases that leadoff single. Diamondbacks go around the horn. All right, so if you know you're getting the fastball, what's the key to getting on the fastball?
Realistically, it's getting it in the zone that you want it to be. And both of these guys throwing electric 4-seamers. They're going to try to work the top, and they're going to try and set up whatever secondary they like the best. As a righty, it's going to be something moving away from you. So you want to see something that is down in the zone close to you and just kind of work the left center gap as a right-handed hitter.
Josh Naylor, lefty bat, pops it up and out of play. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going. 3 straight multi-hit games recently in the A's series in West Sacramento. Naylor batting .310 the month of May. So what you're saying is the way that one guy approaches facing a guy with a lot of fastballs isn't necessarily the way that the next guy approaches facing the guy with a lot of fastballs. It's what part of the zone are you most wanting to hit in?
100%, because you know the velocity that you're gearing up for, and as I'm watching Naylor's at bat right here, you almost want to push him down and away from you because the best secondary pitch to the lefties is the cutter. That's the pitch that Josh just saw, and it had some really good late life on it, which beat him.
He sends this deep the opposite way towards the alley, but Troy is there and makes the catch. Nelson faces the minimum despite that leadoff single, an inning in the books, scoreless. Brian Woo striking out Corbin Carroll in the first 5 straight heaters.
There was a defining at bat last night when Gabe Spire came in the 8th inning and punched out Corbin Carroll on 3 straight fastballs. They must be seeing something what Corbin is trying to do. Went ahead, obviously, with Perdomo as well and attacked him with these fastballs and then surprised him with this backdoor slider that's just really well located.
First pitch strike to Moreno. Now, Carroll for the season batting over .360 against fastballs, 5 of his 7 homers. So it's not like he's not a good fastball hitter, but saw a lot of them there. Which I guess when you're facing Bryan Woo, that's not a surprise. He gets ahead quickly 0-2.
I like that pitch right there. That was a sinker that was in on the hands of Moreno. Remember, we saw him barrel 2 baseballs hard in the 3-4 hole last night. Watch the Mariners pitchers make an adjustment for that.
He just had some really tough at-bats for the Mariners last night. He was seeing it well. 0-2. He blows it right past him. 3 straight strikeouts from Bryan Woo.
This pitch is still in the zone. It's not way above the strike zone, but it just beats Moreno's barrel right there with 2 strikes. That's encouraging to see, and I really think getting in on him early with that 2-seamer is able to open that zone up.
A lot of 4-seamers early. You know, we've talked about how the Diamondbacks are a really good fastball hitting team, one of the best in baseball, and that's all true. But at the same time, I'm sure what Bryan Woo knows very well, his fastball is different. This is one of the best 4-seam fastballs, and it's not because it's 100 miles an hour. It just looks so different compared to everybody else's fastball, plus the velocity.
You're seeing why tonight, though. He's able to work it down in the zone. That strike 1 pitch of Del Castillo, that's a fastball dotted on the bottom rail. He's able to work the top rail with 2 strikes, and then even more so, he can go inside, outside corner to either right or left-handed hitter. That's 4 different pitches right there. Even though they're all the same speed, it's 4 completely different locations of the hitter's eyes.
0-2. Misses on a backdoor slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chop back. Still 1-2. This is a very contact heavy team. 2nd highest contact rate in baseball, the Diamondbacks. One of the lowest strikeout rates in the majors. They really kind of have an old school feel to them. They hit for an average, one of the highest in baseball. They don't hit a ton of homers. It's not a hard hit or a barrel rate kind of team. But they put the bat on the ball. 2-2. And when you look at their slugging this year, and they have the 6th highest slugging percentage in the majors, it's mostly all because of doubles and triples.
It seems like their offensive identity really fits the stadium that they play in at home, especially.
Make it 4 in a row. 4 straight strikeouts, Bryan Woo.
This is the fastball Bryan Woo was trying to throw the last 2 that missed up, just top rail located. Del Castillo is one of the bats in this lineup that is susceptible to the strikeout. Woo was frustrated with the 2 misses. Did a great job bouncing back there in the 3-2 count to finish the job.
And there's only a handful of guys who really punch out a lot in this lineup. Waldschmidt swings and misses.
That's not a surprising first pitch slider to me. Waldschmidt, every single pitcher last night, 0-0 fastball, he was all over.
Doubles up on the breaking ball. Waldschmidt playing in just his 21st big league game. 23-year-old rookie. Woo has been in the driver's seat nearly every at bat early on tonight. And ahead here 1-2.
That's his MO. It's also why you're seeing this D-backs offense swinging so aggressively early in counts. They know that Bryant's going to be in the zone.
On a 1-2. He is cooking early tonight. He has struck out 5 in a row. Brian Wu in a groove early.
And the blue.
Well, the Mariners are celebrating the 90s at T-Mobile Park this weekend, which means another decade pin giveaway. Tomorrow, first 10,000 fans will take home this pin honoring the one and only Ken Griffey Jr. Thanks to KeyBank, Mariners.com/pins to get your ticket. Randy leads it off. Randy punches this straight away center field, carrying, but just shy of the wall. Waldschmidt is there. Deepest part of the ballpark, holds it. One away.
This ball was driven. First pitch of the at-bat. Randy was ready to go. But that's a grown man part of the yard right there. Dead center. The yard decided to hold it tonight.
Leadoff man retired. In steps Luke Raley. Last night his team leading 12th home run. Breaking ball misses away. A ball and a strike to Luke. Nelson tonight making his first career start against the Mariners. He's coming off a career outing. He went 8 innings, his deepest start ever his last time out. 1 run against the Rockies. He's had a really good month of May. 5 starts, a 2.36 ERA. And he has gone into at least the 6th inning each time out this month. So he's pitching with some good momentum coming into tonight.
This was the D-backs' best starting pitcher last season. Did a tremendous job and had a really slow start through his first 6 of the season. Almost an 8 ERA through his first 6 of the season.
Just misses backdoor with that slider, and Luke Raley has a full count. Luke doesn't walk a whole lot. Three-two. Shot very high, very deep. Luke Raley leads the yard. He has homered in back-to-back games.
This ball was hit 106, just like Randy Rosarena's was, but Luke had a little bit smarter game plan of hitting it to the right center field gap and deposits this 3-2 fastball to give the Mariners an early 1-0 lead.
Man, he has been on it this year. 13th home run for Raley. Homer in each of the first 2 games of this series. Cole Young, the batter. And we've seen 2 fly balls, deep fly balls this inning off of Nelson. He has the 2nd lowest ground ball rate in baseball. Only Jacob deGrom a lower ground ball rate. Very much a fly ball pitcher. Kind of an awkward hack at that one from Young. It's 1-2.
That was a nasty cutter. That had a lot of run on it. Chasing Cole's back knee the entire way.
Here is a ground ball. Perdomo on the other side of second. 2 outs. Two outs, a run in for Dom Canzone. Base is empty for Canzone. It's been a pretty wild ride recently for Dom, Ryan. You look at his quality of contact as of late. His last 3 games, he has a 100% hard hit rate. Everything he has been putting in play is at least 95 miles an hour or greater. And in fact, he's had outs on 108, call it 111, 106. And does he get paid off here? He's been due for one, and he cranks this out for a home run. You can add that to the hard hit chart. But tally another homer, his 6th, and it's 2-0 Mariners.
When you hit baseballs hard consistently like Canzone has, the game will eventually reward you. And for some reason, against a fastball throwing pitcher, he ends up getting a curveball that Canzone catches out front and is able to hit it where they're unable to catch it.
Well, I'm sure that there were some times when Canzone lined out at 111 and he thought, I don't know when the next good thing will happen to me. As Moreno was challenging this, there weren't a whole lot of smiles the last few games for Dom, who
overturned. It's a strike. Counts 0-1.
has been hitting the ball harder than anybody with not as much to show for it as he would like. But he was due and he got a homer.
It's hard to be a good teammate in those situations because all you can really do is swat them on the butt and say, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're getting out, you don't want to keep doing that as a hitter.
This is sky to straightaway center field. And the catch is made by Waldschmidt. Raley and Canzone, a couple of homers. And the Mariners lead it early. Now, Brian Wu has been electric so far tonight. 5 straight strikeouts for the Mariners starting pitcher.
The fastball is electric tonight. Brian Wu has so much confidence and conviction in this pitch. You can see those 2 fastballs at the top part of the zone. Yeah, they're center cut, but how he's setting it up right now is pretty special, being able to use all 4 sides of the strike zone.
Well, Ketel Marte flew out to right field on Wu's very first pitch. Since then, everyone has struck out. Ildemaro Vargas leads it off. Benner, an infielder for the Diamondbacks. Vargas, one of the lowest strikeout rates in baseball, also one of the lowest walk rates. He likes to hit. Taken all the way, a strike, 2-1. Batting close to 300 this year.
He's had a heck of a season. Had almost a 30-game hit streak early on as well. This D-backs team was struggling overall, but he was a bright spot early on for this team.
He really kind of personifies their style of hitting. High average, low strikeout, low walk. Does have 7 home runs. There are a few, only 4 with a lower strikeout rate than Vargas this year.
Anytime you see Luis Arraez, Ernie Clement, Nico Horner on the same list, you know he's not punching out.
2-2. Short right field, no man's land. Raley covers some ground and makes the catch for round number 1 of the Ford Sports Says. Angie, where are you?
Well, I can't hear you, but I think you just tossed me, Aaron. I'm in a sea of white. Can you see me in all of these Zag jerseys? It's Gonzaga night here at T-Mobile Park. Hello. Hi, how you doing? Anyway, they're reuniting in style with these very cool Bulldog. Okay, can you show me the back of your jersey? Look at this. Zags 26. Very cool. And $5 for every single jersey goes to the Gonzaga Seattle Chapter Regional Endowment. This is really cool. They got another, or I should say they have more alumni nights coming up here at T-Mobile Park. PLU Day is tomorrow, and then Coug Night is on July 18th, guys. This is fun because a lot of people are like seeing old friends from years ago and meeting new ones.
I feel like Angie is that old friend. Everyone is talking to Angie while Angie is talking to us. Nice concentration, Ange.
Nice.
2 up and 2 down as that comebacker goes to the mound.
Marco Gonzalez would be really proud to see that right now.
Yes, he would. Marco, a great zag. Two-way guy there. John Olerud Award winner. 2 up and 2 down here is Thomas Troy, rookie outfielder for the Diamondbacks. Does he go? No, he does not. The 5 straight strikeouts from Wu that was snapped when Vargas flew out to right field matched his career best strikeout streak. Had one earlier this year against the White Sox. 2-1. Evens the count. Troy calls time.
That sinker is so deceptive. When that fastball is coming to the plate, you don't know if it's going to ride up or if it's going to sink down. You're essentially guessing as a hitter.
Wu fires home. Three and 2. Just the second 3-ball count tonight from Brian Wu. Top of the order is next. Three-2. Chopping softly. Young on a couple of bounces. Over to first base. 9 up, 9 down. Brian Wu in the rocking chair early tonight against the Diamondbacks.
Is your mattress?
Monday, the Mariners kick off Pride Month with a special celebration right here at T-Mobile Park as they take on the Mets. Join for the Pride Night festivities and be part of a community where every fan belongs in the stands. Visit mariners.com/pride to get your tickets today. Sox down tonight for Cole Emerson. He leads things off. Top of the order to follow. Crawford and Julio. Rip and a miss on a fastball to 96 for strike 1. Every pitcher Emerson is seeing for the first time.
And vice versa.
Good point. Three and 1.
Colt has looked so patient ever since he got to the big leagues. I know this is a strength of his game even coming up, but he never looks over anxious in the batter's box no matter the count.
Hammered deep right field, sailing away. Emerson gone. Home run number 2. Three solo home runs tonight for the Mariners. They lead at 3-0. JP, center field. Well, we told you he wasn't a ground ball pitcher. There is out number one.
No, certainly not. But when, as a hitter, if you work yourself into a leverage count like this, the discipline to not try to do too much. When the pitcher throws you a cookie, though, low and in, especially to a young lefty like Colt Emerson, the ability to do damage and punish this baseball has to feel so good. Had a rough night last night, and to start the game off strong like this, I love the way that he bounces back as a young Major League Baseball player.
Emerson's stylist, Josh Naylor, approving. Nothing at 1 to Julio. Naylor helping Colt Emerson pick out his first big league suit on the road trip. It was Naylor and J.P. Crawford that took Colt on an off day to get a new wardrobe.
Do they even wear suits in the big leagues anymore?
No, sport coat at least. Julio throttles this deep to center field. It sounded different. It's gone. Julio's 10th home run this month. Back-to-back games, a home run for Julio.
You wonder if Julio had some words right there for Randy Rosarena, like, hey, buddy, if you're going to go to the big park, that's how you got to do it.
Well, the Mariners are piling up some length early on tonight. Their 4th home run.
I thought the Mariners couldn't hit fastballs. Well, speaking of fastballs, this is a two-seamer at the top of the zone, and when Julio's hot, you can throw whatever you want up there. He's going to find a way to get barrel, and Goldie talked about it. It just sounds different off Julio's bat, whether it's in the game or batting practice. It sounds like a gunshot off of that barrel.
There's no Kwame Supermo. Dead center. You have to go back to September of 2016, the last time the Mariners hit 4 homers in the first 3 innings of a game. Emerson and Julio here in the 3rd, Raley and Canzone in the 2nd. Here's Naylor. Oh, 2. That was crushed. 12 this year now for Julio. The last Mariner outfielder with a 10 home run month was Randy Arozarena last July. Julio had never hit more than 8 home runs in a month, and now with 10. Ballpark will hold this one. Waldschmidt's got room. 2 outs. I mean, think about it. For a lot of guys, the 20 homer season is a pretty noteworthy thing, and Julio's got half that this month alone.
The math that we always use, especially in the minor leagues, was we got to hit 1 a week. 4 times 6 equal to about 24 home runs. That was the goal for us. If we can get in the 20s. You don't realize those when you get to the major leagues. These bats are so hard. These baseballs are wound even tighter, and they'll carry. And the power tends to come in bunches, so it's not surprising to see power hitters have a 10 homer month, and that's where all of a sudden the 40, 45, 50, number seasons show up. They'll have multiple months like that.
Moreno setting up away for this 0-1. Slider that backed up on him, not exactly where he wanted it, but it worked out. It's 0-2. Randy with the walk-off double last night. 4th most doubles in baseball, 5th most stolen bases in the majors for Rosarena. Oh, 2. All while batting close to 300.
It's been such an impressive year for Randy. He's been this consistent bright spot in the Mariners lineup regardless of what's going on around him.
Got jammed a little bit. Awkward hop to Marte, cut of the grass, and the side retired. Another inning, 2 more home runs. 4 in total for the Mariners. Emerson and Julio, the latest. Tonight's Smile Moment is brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, supporting healthy smiles across Washington. Yeah, Julio and Victor Robles all smiles after 4 Mariner home runs over the first 3 innings. Meanwhile, it's been 9 up and 9 down for Brian Wu, facing Ketel Marte for the 2nd time. The Mariners are trying to get above 500 for just the 2nd time this year. You have to go back to March the 30th when the Mariners were 3-2. Last time they were above 500. Well, you're even Steven right now, 29 up, 29 down.
It's been an eventful first 2+ months of the season, that's for sure.
Sweeper gets the punch out. That's the 6th tonight from Brian Wu. Nice way to start the 4th.
Brian Wu's dipping into his bag right now. He went slider, sweeper, sweeper, and Ketel Marte has not looked comfortable against spin or fastball yet this series. And Brian Wu's done a good job taking advantage of it here early.
Corbin Carroll, the batter. When you look at the record, obviously 500 for the Mariners, and you look at it month by month. In March, 3-3. In April, 13-13. So far in the month of May, back to 500 again. Emerson out of room, 0-2. If the Mariners can find a way to finish this month with a winning record, it has been at times a fairly tumultuous month. They have not been able to string together momentum at all. We've seen it in spurts, but it's come and gone. Well, the Mariners are now in first place and have a chance to get above 500. And as you think about getting into the month of June and the summer, maybe they're starting to take off a little bit here. 0-2. On the ground, Young has it. Easy 2nd out. Two up and 2 down quickly. Here is Perdomo. Looks like a ball got on the field out and left. Randy took care of that. Fastball for a strike right over the plate.
Perdomo's got no batting gloves on tonight, and last night he was wearing pink batting gloves in the home run at bat. And I remember him wearing them in every other bat too. That's an interesting adjustment from game to game, especially for someone that had a really good game last night. See, he had the pink arm sleeve, the pink batting gloves, the pink cleats. You'd think it was Mother's Day with the way he was dressed up last night, but apparently he didn't bring the black or maybe red ones on the road trip and had to go no BGs.
Julio cutting across towards the gap, calling off Randy, and he makes the catch. Another easy breezy inning for Brian Wu. 1-2-3. He puts down the Snakes in the fourth.
That delivers.
Ryan Nelson, the starting pitcher tonight for the Diamondbacks. And Ryan, he does a pretty heartfelt tradition before each game.
Yeah, I actually spoke to his dad earlier today. He went to Oregon along with myself. This is the initials he draws. When Ryan was 6 years old, his sister Chrissy, she passed away after a 2-year fight with leukemia. And every time he pitches, he wants to make sure he brings her and honors her on the mound. So he draws her initials on the back of the mound. And he actually does something special in September. He'll wear some yellow and gold cleats for childhood cancer awareness. And he gets really involved in the Phoenix community. He'll go to some of the children's hospital. He just wants to stay involved and make sure he is spreading the message about his sister and allowing this to be a positive reason why he's able to continue doing what he's doing. And I love the way he's able to honor her every time he toes the rubber.
Well, it's easy to forget when we watch these guys on TV every night. They're real people. They go through real things. And quite the journey for Ryan Nelson, who has been through quite a bit in his family. He drills Raley on the first pitch. Raley, who homered off of him in the second, one of 4 Mariner home runs. Nelson had never given up more than 2 homers in a single start in his career before tonight. He's coughed up 4 of them.
That hit by pitch isn't so much of him sending a message. It's more so him trying to establish a different part of the strike zone that he's been struggling to with these left-handed hitters. If he can start working the inside part of the zone, I think he'll have a better time.
On the ground, Marte has it to second. Perdomo, no throw. Mariners swap runners at first base, 1 out, 1 on. Here comes Canzone. He is homered tonight. Former Diamondback. Did you ever homer against one of your former teams?
Against the A's, yeah, when I was with the Mariners.
Yeah, had to
for
happen,
sure.
Right? Feels a little different?
Yeah, it feels pretty special.
Canzone drafted and developed by the Diamondbacks. Oh, 2.
Goldie, that's the 3rd foul ball that's been coming our direction. I feel like tonight could be the night for us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do I have to dive over and protect you? Like, how do you want this to go?
It's very low probability here.
I feel like you're just trying to manifest it at this point.
That'd be great. I don't think it's going to happen. Tough angle. Tough height. Screen.
So if my laptop breaks, you said you'll buy me a new one, right? That's live on air. We got that?
Ball and 2 strikes to Canzone. Yeah, some booths just don't wear the bullseye. This is in foul ground and had just enough room for Hernandez, but came upon that short wall and does not make the catch.
Hernandez was pretty cautious over there once he hit that dirt. Sounds like maybe he didn't step off the foul territory before the game started. He had plenty of room, and this ball was staying in the entire time. Even has a net to kind of lean off. If Nolan Arenado was playing third base tonight, you would have seen him full speed running into that wall.
All right, so what does stepping off foul ground look like before a game?
Just measuring the distance you have. Obviously, the steps that you're taking as a defender, you know how far, and this is more relevant for outfielders obviously in different ballparks, but as an infielder, especially corner infielder, you know you're going to have foul balls like that show up. So knowing what your distance from the grass to the wall is really important.
3-2. Every ballpark a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different angles. And normally, if you can go full speed and slide, you know how many steps you have before you start that slide, and you can still be able to make a play on that baseball.
Canzone goes down swinging. 2 outs. Well, the ballpark you came up in was the ultimate of that. The Coliseum had acres of foul territory.
I remember my first game ever, Marcus Semien was playing shortstop, and there was a foul ball. I was playing third. That was in the bullpen down the left field line. And I'm camped underneath it, as camp as you can be, running 150 yards to go catch it. And then Marcus and I actually run into each other. I catch the baseball, and he looks at me just disgusted, like, did you not know I was there? I said, Marcus, I caught the baseball. He's out. Can we go hit now?
What a sea of foul territory in the Coliseum. That, by the way, was the first strikeout tonight from Nelson. Well, that was pretty close. I got to give you that one.
Goldie.
That was pretty close.
There's no way we're getting a foul ball. That's literally the booth right next to us.
Nah, it was higher. I mean, I'll ask you this. Did it come in our booth?
If we're going to be cut and dry with this, then I guess not.
It did not come in the booth.
Can someone get me a glove, please?
But it was close. Tap foul, 1-2. I think I have dropped 2 lifetime in the booth. I'm 0 for 2, and it is very disheartening. People don't realize the spin that ball has. I mean, the velocity, obviously, but the spin.
That was a pretty good excuse. I almost believed you.
Oh, I think it's a great excuse. I mean, I'm not proud of dropping 2 foul balls in the booth, but it's a reality. I dropped 1 sitting next to Peter Gammons in a spring training game.
Name drop?
Yeah, that's the pressure. That's why I dropped it. I was very nervous. And then Cal Raleigh hit 1 back our way, I believe in Anaheim.
Okay.
And right through the hands.
It would have been a better excuse if you were like, I was watching the monitor and then tried to find the foul ball and I couldn't. That's the trouble I'm having right now, is I'm watching the monitors. I want to see the pitch and the location, and then I whip my head to see the live baseball, trying to pick it up.
People don't know how hard it is up here. I think that's what you're saying. It takes a real athlete to be up in the booth.
Listen, I've stood at both of those corner positions out there. There's nothing you're going to show me up here that is close to as hard as being out there.
Good take low. It's a full count to Garver. He's got Young at first base with 2 outs. Well, whenever I see a fan make a one-handed catch, I mean any catch, but especially you see the highlights of the one-handed catches. I mean, it really is amazing.
I agree.
Foul back to the glove. Back-to-back strikeouts from Nelson, who keeps the Mariners in the yard in the 4th inning.
I was so excited.
Well, don't miss your chance to sit in the J-Rod squad presented by Adidas. This special section in center field is available every game at T-Mobile Park. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, you can score an exclusive no-fly zone t-shirt. You can get your tickets at mariners.com/JRod. Now there it is. Moreno leads things off, squares to bunt, pulls back and looks at a strike. Cleanup hitting catcher for the Diamondbacks. Struck out on a fastball from Wu back in the 2nd. One of 6 punch outs. Ooh, drilled him. First base runner. How about a message from the Washington beef farmers and ranchers?
Win or lose, it's really about how you feed the game, right? Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Well, David Rackley pointed to first base after Moreno was hit, and now the Mariners are challenging.
Seattle is challenging that call.
Did this hit the bat?
It certainly sounded like it. Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
That's a whole lot of bat knob right there.
So oftentimes you see the ball hit the knob and the hand, but this time that looks like a direct hit to the bat. Let's take a listen to it. Tried
to sell it. I respect that.
How much of that is Moreno selling it, and how much of it is just truly the vibration of the bat when the knob gets hit like that? What does that feel like?
At that point, there is shock factor that goes into it, but you're more so trying to sell it. It's hard to sell anything nowadays, though,
Sure.
with the replay, because you know it's coming. But if you look at his left arm right there, he has yellow pads all the way up it. You don't know if it sounds like that. It could sound similar to a bat at times.
Well, this shouldn't take too long, you wouldn't think. Meanwhile, Wu trying to stay warm.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. It was a no-hit by pitch. Foul ball. The count is no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's the right call to make. Chris Cuccione, our crew chief, third base umpire, on the
Seattle
microphone.
will retain their challenge.
I really like that pitch. Obviously, the result being a strike now, but we talked about Gabby getting really comfortable out over the plate yesterday, driving the fastballs the opposite field. Anytime you can make a hitter uncomfortable with the pitcher knowing they can come in at any point to do something different.
Moreno getting geared back up again.
Let's get a lot of straps on there.
Oh, 2. Moreno calls time. Another 0-2. He blows it past him, a 96-mile-an-hour heater again. 7 strikeouts from Wu.
Well, that strike 2 fastball pays off. Ends up throwing a 4-seam here. All over the plate. But Bryan Wu has that invisible factor at times where you just don't know what direction it's going, and you end up missing it.
15 pitches in the second, the most he has thrown any inning so far. Strike 1 to Del Castillo. Been remarkably efficient so far, especially considering 7 strikeouts. That could easily chew up a pitch count. It's 0-2. He's been making quick work of these Diamondbacks hitters. His 1-2 pitch into center field, a base hit. First base runner. Diamondbacks, well, you wondered, might something be happening tonight? 4 1/3 perfect innings from Bryan Wu.
I'll tell you what, I was not going to be the first one to talk about what was going on, but this was a pretty good backdoor sweeper, just out over the plate enough, and Del Castillo does a really nice job, just not trying to do too much, flicked this up the middle for the first base hit of the night for the Diamondbacks.
Wu had sat down the first 13 batters faced. And until that base hit, maybe you remember something different than I do, but there's really only been 1 ball in play that you felt like might drop in. That was Marte, the very first pitch of the game.
Yeah.
That Raley made a kind of a sliding catch on. Everything else has either been routine or a strikeout.
And this lineup's been very aggressive as well. I was surprised to see that 0-0 take on the fastball by Waldschmidt. He's been probably the most aggressive hitter that we've watched so far this series.
In on the hand, slow ground ball. Emerson halfway to second. Young to first, not in time. 2 outs.
Exit velocity was 55 mile an hour. This ball got in a little bit on Waldschmidt. Emerson does a nice job really gaining ground on this ball, not trying to do too much, and gives Cole Young a good feed, give him a chance to turn 2.
Two outs, Waldschmidt at first base. Ildemaro Vargas is at the plate. Mariners leading on 4 solo home runs. Strike 1 of Vargas. You were on the field for Paxton's no-hitter.
Yes, I was.
Did anybody say anything at any point?
Not that I remember, no. It's easy to not know what's going on around you, quite frankly, until like the last 3. You have so many jobs as a player, and as a hitter especially. Like, you might get a couple innings off where you know you're not going to hit. Besides that, you're always thinking about the last at bat and then the next one that's coming. When you're on defense, you have so many obligations. I'd say as it gets to the 6th, maybe 7th inning, you start recognizing what's happening and you heighten the awareness even further. And that was definitely one of those games.
You look up at the board and you realize,
oh wow, nobody's got a hit tonight. Have I gotten a hit tonight? I don't know.
2-2. And that was a very special night north of the border when James Paxton threw a no-hitter on his native soil.
It felt like there was a higher power that was working that night, that's for sure.
The guy with the maple leaf tattoo.
Oh, that was special.
James, who was rushing it in there, upper 90s in the WBC this year.
Yeah, how about that?
He was getting some phone calls from people. He's enjoying his retirement. Line right up the middle, hit hard. Second hit this inning for the Diamondbacks. Vargas, a tough out. He's aboard.
Out of all the hitters in this lineup, I feel like Vargas has looked the most comfortable. This is a fastball top of the zone. He's able to get on top of it, not trying to do too much. And Wu actually almost got a glove on that thing.
Meeting on the mound.
I like the rookie Colt Emerson getting in there, just hearing a little bit of the conversation. We talked with, Dan Wilson about Josh Naylor being a catalyst of wanting to bring the guys together in those moments so everyone's on the same page. It's a great just communication, leadership moment for Josh to be a part of those.
Two outs, 2 on. Here is Jose Fernandez. Speaking of that no-hitter from James Paxton, Kyle Seager in his fantastic career with the Mariners was a part of 9 no-hitters.
Wow.
Which is the most by any single player with one single team.
9.
Isn't that incredible? I think Reggie Jackson has the record for the most no-hitters a part of on either side.
Well, you know, Kyle had tremendous contribution all 9 of those with how just solid he was at third base defensively.
1-2. Time call. And when you think back to Sashi Okuma's no-hitter, Seager had a great catch in foul territory in the final innings to help that one out.
I'll never forget the last out of Paxton's no-hitter, the hard one-hopper off of Josh Donaldson's bat. The throw across the diamond.
To Seager?
Yeah, probably one of the biggest fist pumps that I've let out in my career after catching that ball from Kyle.
Well, Kyle had such an accurate arm.
Mm-hmm. He used the long hop better than anyone else that I've seen.
Strike 3 call. 96 dots the lower outside corner. 8 strikeouts for Brian Wu. Cole Emerson has homered tonight. He'll lead things off when we get to the bottom of the 5th.
Jock in the box.
Tonight's Muckleshoot Casino Report, Pin Report, all the leverage arms used last night. Brash, Ferrer, Bizzardo, Spire, and Munoz. And look at the heavy workload in particular for Brash, Bizzardo, and the Mariners closer, Andres Munoz. And with that in mind, well, 4-0 lead is helpful, and Brian Wu cruising, also very helpful.
Yeah, it's good timing. It was really nice to see all the leverage arms deployed last night. The fact that the Mariners had them healthy and available in the bullpen the way that Dylan Wilson deployed them was really nice to see.
Wu allowing his first base runners in the 5th. He sat down the first 13 batters of the game. Try to hold up, goes around. Emerson homering to right field his last at bat. Second home run of the show. Fouls that out of the glove of Moreno to stay alive. Big swing and a miss. 1 away.
A couple really well located pitches right there. Cutters in, fastballs up and in. Emerson punished him on the fastball alone, and you knew Nelson was not going to make that same mistake twice.
Back to the top of the order. Here's JP. I found the list of Seager no-hitters that he was a part of. He was a part of Felix's perfect game in 2012. The Mariners combined no-hitter in 2012. Kuma's in 15. Paxton's that we were talking about in 18. And then he was on the wrong side of Umber's perfect game. 2 combined no-hitters, both in 2019. Angels and Astros. John Means in 2021 and Spencer Turnbull's the same year. 2-1. Boy, that was what happened there to JP. He was hopping around a little bit.
Something didn't feel right. I mean, this was a big 2-0 hack by JP. But something didn't feel good. Did he? Yeah, he rolled over that back ankle just a little bit. See, he got stuck right there. That didn't feel good. He walked it off. He's back ready to go.
2-2.
Three strikeouts in a row for Mariners hitters right here. They need to push Nelson back down in the zone, expanding on that four seam up. That's what Nelson wants them to do. Got to push him back down in the zone, be successful.
Two home runs last night for J.P. Crawford. The Mariners have hit 8 home runs in the first 2 games of this series. Opposite way, hanging up in the air. Troy makes the catch in fair ground. 2 up and 2 down. The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance. Julio getting ready to bat here with 2 outs and nobody aboard. In last night's games, we're looking at the highest exit velocity on a base hit. Julio leading everybody and also coming in third. And he had ones at 112 and nearly 114 last night. Down and away, ball 1. In the month of May for Julio, 10 home runs, second most in the majors.
That was one of the hottest topics as April was winding down, was where's the power? What's going on with Julio? Even though he was having good at bats, he definitely brought the power into May.
1 ball and 1 strike. Most home runs he's ever hit in a single month. A 14-game on-base streak for Julio. It's not like on that spray chart of the home runs this month. They're not all pulled. We saw him go dead central earlier today. Oppo home runs as well. What does that say to you when you see a home run spray chart like that?
Obviously, he has the ability to go to every part of the field. The center field home runs are the one that jump out to me the most. The pull side is always going to show up, but if he can hit the ball hard to the middle part of the field, and then in the air as well, he's one of the few Mariners that's strong enough to go there on a consistent basis.
Well, this Oppo liner over the leap of Vargas into the corner. Extra bases for Julio. He stands up at second base with a double.
Angie, you've been watching a lot of Julio over the last month and just the professionalism that he's conducting himself with. I feel like that at bat right there is a great demonstration for his ability with 2 strikes, make an adjustment, drive a ball the other way. What have you seen from him through your lenses?
Well, I know that he is hunting middle in, and you saw that pitch right there. That was nearly on the black inside. He was able to pull his hands inside tight against the body and go the opposite way, and that's been a big focus so that he has a hard out on that outside corner, so that he is not going beyond what is a strike on that outside corner. The mindset is focus middle in and set a hard edge away.
I love that, and the biggest piece of that is knowing where the plate ends on the inside part of the plate. He did chase a slider early in the count away, but we also saw Julio a lot during the early parts and middle parts of April. That fastball with 2 strikes in, he would have grounded that softly at third base and it would have been a routine out, but now it's a double down the right field line.
Oh, he's just so strong, and his ability to get his barrel into the zone and then have it in the zone for such a long time so that he can catch the barrel deep and still drive that ball the opposite way because he is so strong.
This is driven well the opposite way, but an atom ball at Troy to retire the side. Julio's double is stranded. 5 complete. Mariners have the lead.
Welcome back. We're headed to the top of the 6th, and Raleigh is in the building. Yes, Cal is here. We knew that he was coming. He was not here earlier. So all of a sudden, he rocks out of the clubhouse into the dugout. He's getting hugs from Dan and from Garver as well. Nobody, though, hugged him tighter than Josh Naylor did. I mean, literally, Josh Naylor nearly squeezed the life out of him. I'd be like, be careful. He's still on the IL. Do not hurt him any more than he already has been, Josh. And it was really funny because Cole Young walked right by him, and Cal had his fist out, and then like he just gave a he wasn't even aware of who he was fist bumping, and Cal was like, hey, and then Cole Young said something like, what the heck? But it wasn't what the heck. And then came back for a big Cal hug as well. But really fun to watch everybody's reactions as Cal clearly surprised the team. But all right, really quick on Cal. We knew he was coming today. Yesterday, he took 30 cuts, 15 on each side. He's throwing 130 feet. So, you know, it's coming, guys. It's coming.
Well, it's so good to see Cal Raleigh get in that dugout. Spending some time in Arizona, and Mariners eagerly anticipating when he can rejoin the club. Dealing with that oblique injury.
Got a fresh haircut too going.
Yeah, tight cut. Thomas Troy leading things off in the 6th.
Cole Young cannot be big leaguing the MVP runner-up.
A sweeper way off the plate. You can take a tape measure to that one. 9th strikeout matches the season best for Brian Wu. How about a message from Jack in the Box?
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Here's Ketel Marte for the 3rd time. Just foul. Nestor Sejas skipping some rope over there at first base.
That's the first good barrel that we've seen off of Ketel Marte so far in this series. Fortunate one foul there.
Wu has only one performance of double-digit strikeouts in his career. He punched out 13 last September against the Angels. Sitting on 9 tonight. Naylor able to snare it. Wu to the bag. He just took a hit away. 2 outs.
This was a special play by Josh Naylor. Just talked about the barrel on the first pitch. This is 109 off the bat from Ketel Marte. Since the ball was hit so hard, Josh had no panic when he got up, had plenty of time, and the athletic Brian Wu was there ready to cover the base and record the out.
Very nice play. 2 up, 2 down. Corbin Carroll batting. Just misses off the plate. Carroll wants to challenge this. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Oh, just catches the top of the zone.
Arizona has 1.
Julio measures this in center in a few strides. So what a night this is shaping up to be for Brian Wu. He's been hanging 0-6 shutout tonight inside T-Mobile Park. June 18th, first 15,000 fans will take home this Stars and Stripes soccer jersey thanks to Alaska Airlines. Gear up for the game and rep the Mariners before Team USA takes on, oh boy, Hyphens Australia. June 19th. Mariners.com/tickets. Oh, and 1 to Randy. Hyphen's going to be wearing his Australia jersey, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ball and a strike to Randy. Leading off the bottom of the 6th. Three balls and a strike to Randy.
All things considered for Nelson tonight, the 4 home runs. Done a good job of settling back in, working his way into the 6th inning here.
Wasn't cheated on that swing. Full count. Mariners with 4 home runs in each of the first 2 games of this series. Mariners winning last night in 10. Randy with the walk-off base hit. Raley homering last night and tonight. This will be pitch number 7 to Arozarena. On the ground to third, flattens out Fernandez. High throw, sails it. Randy trots into second base. Not thinking about making something interesting. He'll stay anchored there. Leadoff man aboard with a little bit of help.
This was a fairly routine ground ball right here for Fernandez. Playing very deep, takes a couple shuffles, and the ball just sails away from him. Easy extra bases, an extra out for the Mariners offense here.
You played a lot of third in your career. Is there anything to a play that is extra routine that you know you have extra time on? Is that at all potentially get in your head as opposed to a more quick reflexive type of play?
Yeah, 100%. It's a very long distance from third base to first base, and it's also a very unique angle. I always had a hard time with that throw as well. Probably why I'm sitting in the booth with you today, actually.
That's a 2-base error on Fernandez. So what's so unique or odd or difficult about that angle from where he fielded to the throw to first base?
Well, I'll give you perspective. When I first came to the big leagues, talked about the Coliseum, it was the foul territory for me. Like, if any air or any throw you made that got past the first baseman, it wasn't just an extra base. It was runners all of a sudden now standing on third base. So the risk-reward factor was really tough. The angle of knowing you can't really miss arm side, so to the right-hand side, because now it takes the first baseman up the line. And you have to really work down through the baseball, so you have to have a good target on the first baseman, because you have to use your legs to throw across, and if you have a little bit of rise on that baseball like Fernandez just did, it's so easy for it to get away from you and then take the first baseman off the base.
So the Coliseum, there was almost this fear of if I sky this airmail, then a huge trouble here.
I will never forget my first day ever in the big leagues taking early work ground balls with Ron Washington, and I threw one that actually sailed over, and I thought, oh my goodness, if I do that tonight for my first big league game ever, I will never live it down.
Randy is being held at third, very shallow in left field. That base hit from Raley. He's aboard for the 3rd time. Mariners threatening for more. They've got runners on the corners.
Well, this isn't the barrels we're used to seeing from Luke Raley, but this is a wonderful job of just being a hitter. He kind of cues it, and he looks up to the sky. He's got no idea where the baseball is. Fortunately for Luke, it drops in left field for a base hit.
Second hit tonight for Luke Raley.
He couldn't have thrown it better out there himself.
Meeting on the mound as the Mariners have the first 2-man reach. Arozarena at third, Raley at first.
Do you know what the golden rule is for a hitter, Goldie?
Tell me.
Whole bat, whole field. That was a great demonstration of Luke Raley using every last inch of that bat to get himself a hit.
Wait, say that again.
Whole bat, whole field.
So I understand whole field. What's whole bat?
Like, use the entire bat. Like, yeah, you want to hit on the barrel. That's in the perfect world. But sometimes you get jammed. Sometimes you catch it off the end of the bat. Don't be afraid to establish contact and use the entire bat.
Works out for Raley. Base hit into left. Young takes a strike at the knees.
I guess that context comes up more with the 2-strike approach, especially with a younger hitter. Like, hey, whole bat, whole field. Don't be afraid here.
Oh, 2. .92 pitches for Nelson. Ryan Thompson, soft tossing funky righty, warming up inside the Diamondbacks pen. Jam fouls it away, still 0-2.
These are situations where Cole Young has been so good this year. An RBI machine on one of the road trips where he was driving in a ton of runs every single game. St. Louis especially. See if we get the job done here.
No Mariner has more plate appearances with runners in scoring position than Young. Evens the count. Nelson still throwing hard, 97.
It's a good calm take there by Cole Young. It's like he's settling into his bat every pitch that he sees.
Runners on the corners, nobody out. Just got a piece. Bullpen phone in use. Thompson continues to warm. 96 pitches for Nelson. Fouls away another one, takes the mask off Moreno.
That was a good one to hit right there. That was a mistake with 2 strikes by Nelson.
Right over the plate. Long at bat here for Young. Next pitch will be number 8 his way. Here it comes. Spoils one on the corner this time. A lot of fastballs.
A lot of fastballs. 1 curveball, 1 sinker, and another fastball. Good chance to seize another one right here, just top of the zone.
Raley at first, to Rosarena at third. 2-2. Soft fly ball right field. Carroll makes the catch. Randy tagging. Here comes the throw. It's cut. Randy scores. Sac fly. Cole Young, and a 5-0 Mariners lead. He got the job done.
Very much so, and this is what makes Cole Young so valuable in these situations. You saw him settle into the bat every single pitch you saw. This ends up being a curveball in a good location, low and in for Cole. Not trying to do too much, get this ball to the outfield. He's able to score Randy Rosarena for third base.
Well, the Mariners cash in on that 2-base error to begin the inning. Torey Lovullo is out of the bullpen, out of the dugout, going to his bullpen. We've got a pitching change. All Mariners here with Thompson coming on in the 6th.
Be your Western Washington Hyundai dealer.
Tonight's Chevy Silverado drive of the game. Mariners broke out the big bats early. Luke Raley with a home run in the 2nd. Back-to-back games for him. Canzone, same inning, a solo blast. And then 2 more in the 3rd for the Mariners. It was Colt Emerson to lead things off. And then Julio to straightaway center field. His 10th home run this month. 4 homers, 5 runs in total, and Ryan Nelson is out of the game in the 6th inning at 99 pitches and turns it over to the bullpen, leaving Raley at first base.
Yeah, it felt like Ryan Nelson did a nice job settling in, even with the 4 home runs, extending this game as much as he could in the 5th. Third baseman didn't help him in this inning with that 2-base error. Nice job by Cole Young to drive him in.
Here is 6'5" righty Ryan Thompson. Unique delivery. Misses ball 1 to Canzone.
It's going to be a healthy dose of sinker slider. He's not trying to punch you out. He's trying to establish contact. It's going to be a lot of elbows and knees flying at you here.
.76-mile-an-hour slider, 1-1. Average fastball's underneath 90 miles an hour. Good ground ball pitcher. Only given up 2 home runs this year. One and 2 on Canzone. One out Raley at first. Does it take more focus to pick the ball up out of hand from a guy with this arm angle?
I would say yes, just because traditionally you can pick up the release point of a pitcher over the top, kind of from the bill of the cap or even the logo on the cap. Here, you know it's going to be lower, so you have to, and I would like to see a pitch in these type of situations to pick up that release point to gather that information for the rest of the at-bat. But more so, this is a different approach from Nelson you were facing earlier in this game. You have to really get on top of this baseball and try and drive him the other way.
So your auto take first pitch facing a guy like this for the first time?
Oh, yeah. Because even if he throws me a fastball in the middle, I'm going to see another one. But I want to see what the shape of the pitch is and where the release point is, because whether it's a fastball or a slider, I know it's going to have to come out of there again.
Ooh, close play. They got him. Raley is out. And you can tell he's saying, hey, take a look at that. Of course they will. And they want to challenge.
Let's take a closer look at this, and it's going to have to be indisputable to turn it over. It looks like his right hand might have got back in there.
I think so.
Seattle is challenging the out call at first base.
Luke does a nice job of going to the back corner of the base, and even though the throw misses up the line a little bit, Vargas kind of falls into the tag. Looks like Luke's
right there.
Right there, yeah.
Well, let's take a look. Ooh. It is very close.
And the fact that he called him out is going to make this even harder to turn over.
Is he on right there? And is the glove, is there any daylight between the webbing of that glove and Luke Raley? I think so. Do you think so?
Yeah, but I watch these replays all the time, then I watch it get upheld, and I'm like, how could they do this?
I understand why that was called out in real time. Honestly, when you watch some of these replays, it's amazing that they get it right as often as they do.
Sure.
As we are initially not entirely sure watching a slow-mo replay toggle back and forth 10 times. But it did look like there was enough evidence there that there was a slight daylight gap between that glove and Luke Raley when his hand touched the bag.
What I don't like is we've only seen that one angle. So how many other angles are they looking at in New York right now to be able to make that ultimate decision?
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe.
Yeah.
Seattle will retain their challenge.
Based on what we saw, that's the right call. It's overturned. Raley is safe. It was close.
Dan Wilson 2 for 2 tonight.
And Mariners winning a challenge earlier on what was ruled a hit by pitch. Laced into left field, rolling fast into the corner. Luke Raley is being held at third. Troy got to it fast enough. Stand up double. Dom Canzone, his second extra base hit tonight.
This was a great adjustment by Dom Canzone. It looked like he was trying to pull the baseball early. Takes what Thompson's given him here with 2 strikes, get this fastball away, and is able to hammer this ball down the line. Was hoping it was going to ravel around a little bit more in the corner for Troy down there to score. Luke Raley gets held up. Going to give Mitch Garver an opportunity for some RBIs here.
Chops foul. Infield cut of the grass on the right side, slightly further back on the left. Well, that sweeper, that slider really fooled Garver. Now, strikeout rate much better against righties than lefties for Thompson this year, and you can understand why with that arm angle.
And that pitch right there especially.
Line right to third, and Raley able to get back in time as that found Fernandez. Frustrating line out from Mitch Garver.
Goes back to the sweeper, and Garver does a nice job. Unfortunately, there's just a defender that's playing right there. Kudos to Luke Raley to get back. This is a really easy ball to get doubled off on. So moving back on the line drive, it's a good job, giving Emerson an opportunity here.
The last 20-year-old in Major League Baseball with a multi-homer game, you have to go back a couple of years. It was Jackson Churio of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I see what you did there.
One and two. Game's getting young, isn't it?
Very much so. It's crazy.
On one hop, Perdomo behind the bag. Emerson is out. Mariners grab a run this inning on Young's sac fly after 6. Mariners have all 5. It is a tradition unlike any other. Hot dogs from heaven. Ryan, your first experience. You know, you can throw them as hard as you want, and they just won't go very far at all.
Is it bad that my shoulder was clicking every time I really let one go, and like it wouldn't go any further no matter how hard I tried?
When you talked about that angle from third to first, how about trying not to hit the ceiling above us?
Did you, Nick? I thought I heard you hit it one time.
No, I go straight sidearm. I'm a lot like our guy Ryan Thompson when you throw the hot dogs.
Respect. A lot of discipline for us not to eat those, by the way. I want some credit for that.
I mean, it's a real contraption. On the ground, Naylor has it. Flattens out for him there. Wu to the bag. Comes with a hot dog, a mustard packet, all warmed and ready to go. How about a message from Papa Murphy's?
Introducing Papa's Picks. Enjoy a large 4-cheese or double shredded pepperoni take and bake pizza, and starting at $9.99. Pick one up today at Papa Murphy's.
Leadoff man sat down. Wu has been cruising tonight. Gabriel Moreno, the batter. Strike one. Now, Wu has been one of the very best first pitch strike starting pitchers this year in baseball. That has continued tonight. Moreno's challenging this.
Pitcher's ruled a strike. The batter's challenging. Was overturned. Ball 1. Arizona has 1 challenge remaining.
1 ball to 1 strike. On the ground, JP circles around it, plants, fires. 2 down. Well, on a night where the Mariners had all leverage arms coming off work a night ago, so the Mariners bullpen is not fully rested. The Mariners have scored 5 runs, and their starting pitcher is working into the 7th. Cooper Criswell is now warming up. Strike one. Wu is sitting on 9 strikeouts. He's matched his season high. Another ground ball. Young to first. What a night for Brian Wu. He has absolutely cruised tonight. 7 shutout innings, 9 strikeouts. Throttling the Diamondbacks tonight inside T-Mobile Park. Mariners TV is brought to you by the Washington Lottery. Washington's Lottery helps fund the Washington Grant. Free money for college training or apprenticeships. J.P. Crawford leads it off. Top of the order for the Mariners. Julio and Naylor to follow. Chop foul, strike one. Ooh, man, that the whole timing of that sequence was wild.
Watch where this pitch starts and the right-hander's batter's box and ends up behind JP in the left-handed batter's box. What's the horizontal break on that one, Goldie?
That was crazy. Different is good, especially when you're a pitcher, and Thompson is definitely different. This is making me think of a guy who was in the house tonight, Paul Sewald, former Mariner closer, now closing games for the Diamondbacks. Just picked up his 100th career save. Lays pretty deep. This carries well out to left field to the base of the warning track, but out number one. Next week, the Mariners welcome the Mets to town for an interleague matchup. You can pick up your tickets, mariners.com/tickets. Back half of the homestand, the Mariners hit the road for a lengthy East Coast swing. Now, funny we talk about the Mets. When Paul Sewald came to the Mariners from the Mets were actually, at one point during Paul's tenure there, they tried to convert him to a submariner, which he did not appreciate or enjoy and decided to go a different path. But his career was at a point where he was struggling getting outs, not just in the big leagues, but just a period in pro ball in the minors, that they felt like a major change needed to be made. And as it turned out, when he came to the Mariners and was pitching in the minor leagues before his call-up, he made a major change, just not so much in how he threw, but what he threw. He completely changed his arsenal. 4-seamers up, sweepers away, no more change-ups, 2-seamers. But he had to find a way to get different, and the Mariners helped him with that.
It's interesting when you talk to different pitchers across the league that have been in different organizations, because there are philosophies that can change organization to organization, and all of a sudden you go somewhere that believes in the stuff you have but thinks that they can retool it a little bit, and then you convert into one of the most successful Mariners closers that we've seen here for a little bit, and is still able to extend his career and has been really good in Arizona as well.
1 out, nobody out for Julio.
The guy that I keep thinking of as I watch Thompson here throw is Tyler Rogers, and that's the submarine righty. I remember facing him in college as well, actually, and then when he was with the Giants, he was an uncomfortable at bat from the right-hand side, very much.
Julio scoops this out to left. 2 down. Hey, Angie, remember how we were talking about the banana split for Seawald. So when the Diamondbacks had the
like
off
10
night,
pounds of banana split,
the 10-pound banana split that we watched Paul take down before getting a save, the day before getting a save in San Diego. Seawald celebrated his birthday and his 100 saves at Canlis on the night off before yesterday's series opener. He went with a number of friends with the organization, and when it came time for dessert, the waiter at Canlis brought a Mariners ferry boat that you would see here at the ballpark, and he said to Paul, we have it on good authority that you like banana splits, so we made one just for you. And he got an off the menu Mariner ferry boat banana split at Canlis.
That is, by the way, they should have said per Goldie. I mean, from you, my friend.
Paul, you're welcome.
Yeah.
To the 8th, Mariners have the lead.
Summer's here. You can celebrate anything, like buying your...
Telecast is presented by the authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Now Brian Wu, phenomenal tonight. 7 shutout, just 2 hits.
He was efficient the entire game. You saw him establish the fastball early against a team that really hits the fastball well, too.
Cooper Criswell takes over. Waldschmidt picks up a base hit right away, singles into left. His first hit tonight. Now Criswell has taken over a nice role in the bullpen. He has gained more and more trust from manager Dan Wilson. He is on to possibly finish this one off tonight. Pitching with a 5-run lead here in the 8th inning, now facing Ildemaro Vargas.
Criswell came in the 10th inning last night and went through the heart of this order of Marte, Carroll, and Perdomo, and got 3 efficient ground balls to get the Mariners out of that top of the 10th inning with no runs scored.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Now, for those who missed the Paul Sewald banana split story, we believe that the unofficial statute of limitations has expired on this, which is why we shared it in the final day of the road trip. Years ago, when Paul was in his heyday with the Mariners and closing out games left and right, the Mariners had back-to-back day games in San Diego, and Gary Hill and I went out and we got dinner after the game, and we're in the Gaslamp district of San Diego down by Petco. Great place, tons of restaurants. And after we got dinner, we walked to a local ice cream shop, and the line was wrapping around the building out the door, and maybe 5 or 10 people in front of us, we spot Paul Sewald just standing in a line by himself, just a man wanted to get some ice cream on a summer night. And
I know that feeling.
We watched Paul order the biggest banana split on the West Coast. It was a 2-hand, 5-pound behemoth, and take it down. And the next day game at Petco, it's a 1-run game in the 9th inning, and here comes Paul Sewald trotting out to close it off. And I look at Gary, and Gary looks at me, and we're thinking, oh, this could be bad. I mean, he is 8. Yeah, I mean, this man has no idea what Paul Sewald put his body through the night before that save. That was single A ball what that man was eating right there. Maybe rookie ball. And we thought, man, Paul, I don't know if Paul's going to get the job done here. He might cough it up.
Because he ate a banana split?
Oh, no, not a banana split. I mean, he ate the Hall of Fame Bambino banana split. It was not meant for one person. This is one of those things where they say, best to be shared. And Paul took it down.
It sounds optional to share at that point. And you don't know how many calories these guys are burning. Maybe he had a really big workout that day.
You're pitching 1 inning at a time. Don't show any pitcher bias here, position player. Come on. Well, in any event, Paul tells us today that particular game, he's never thrown harder. He closed the door. He got the save, all 3 outs. He probably picked up a couple of strikeouts. Well, we wanted to say hi to Paul today, and so we went down to the Diamondbacks clubhouse, and I see him, he sees me, and he has this look on his face, and he said, I thought some things were kept private around here.
There's no secrets, unfortunately.
And I said, hey, man, you've been gone a while now. I think we reached the point where we can share that one. And then he told me about what happened at Campbell. So He was very appreciative of me letting the cat out of the bag and getting him a canless banana split in a Mariner ferry boat, which, hey, canless, somebody got to let us know. How'd you get a ferry boat?
I thought you took care of that. You didn't send it over?
I did not. I was not invited to this dinner, Paul. No, but I guess they know what's going on. They're dialed in. A true full circle Paul Sewald moment. Years in the making.
You got to fuel the body somehow. Sometimes it's a nice steak. Sometimes it's a 5-pound banana split.
I once watched Logan Morrison take down the 48-ounce bludgeon of beef, bone-in tomahawk ribeye at Manny's Steakhouse in Minneapolis. That is not meant for one person.
That's your opinion, and you can have it all you want.
A ball with 2 strikes.
What would be your guilty pleasure food that if you could eat 5 pounds of it that you would just?
Well, I've given you both of them: the bludgeon of beef and the banana split. Like that is my absolute off-night dinner. Just go get a steak and wash it down with some ice cream. Chopping to JP, a little flip. Young on a skip, not in time. Fernandez able to beat it out. 2 outs. Did you ever have a hard time keeping weight on during the season? Is that a problem for you?
Depends on the season, but usually not. The harder part was not eating everything post-game, because if you're eating dinner at 11, 12 o'clock at night, you go to sleep at, say, 1 or 2 a.m., it's just a lot of calories that just sit in your body all day. It was more about how can I get calories in my system earlier in the day so that it was used as fuel, because once you get to the ballpark, you are constantly moving from 1 or 2 o'clock all the way through game time.
Yeah, it's hard for people, I think, to understand how early these guys show up and all the work that goes in before the bell rings at tonight, 7 o'clock, for example.
Well, I got here at 2:15 yesterday for a 7:10 game, and there was already early work happening on the field. So there is a laundry list of items that each individual will do: defense, hitting, team defense as well, and you got full batting practice. You got to get your lifts in as well, some treatment on different days. Most guys will eat at least 3 meals per day at the field nowadays, especially in a night game. You'll get there, you'll have lunch, you'll have a meal before the game, and then you'll have something after the game.
Does not go. 2-0. Well, obviously every team is trying to find whatever edge they can, and nutrition and sleep and recovery has become even more of a focus and emphasis. That guy knows all about it. Troy lost his helmet on the swing. 2-1. Yeah, I would say the banana split was about 200 of those things.
Our cameramen are doing a great job just finding every and any food item that is available in the park right now.
We have a hungry crew. Two outs and a man aboard. Troy takes full count. Top of the order is next. Marte is due up next, and lefty Jose Ferrer is getting loose. He did work yesterday. Right back up the middle. Young's got it on a low skip, throws across his body. Phenomenal play, Cole Young. What else is new? Mariners TV is brought to you by UW Medicine, where research gives hope to those in need and creates healthier futures for all. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. And by Global Credit Union, powering the new Seattle Mariners cashback credit card. Apply for yours at globalcu.org. Beautiful night in Seattle. Middle game of 3, Mariners and the Diamondbacks. Chance for a series win. Taylor Clark takes over on the mound. Here's Randy. Not a ton of strikeouts for Clark. Low strikeout, low walk rate. Good ground ball pitcher this year. On cue, Perdomo. In time. Leadoff man sent down. You can score on tickets for less than $12 when the Orioles come to town. A 3-game value series, June 16th to the 18th. Mariners.com/value games to lock in your seats and check out the complete Mariner value game schedule this summer. Here's Luke Raley trying to reach for the 4th time tonight. He's raised his average 10 points tonight. He's homered, singled, and been hit by a pitch. Ball's behind 1-2. Four home runs last night for the Mariners. Another 4 homers tonight in game 2. 4 solo shots. Julio, Raley, Canzone, and Emerson. Got jammed and fouls it away. The only time in franchise history the Mariners have had more than 8 home runs in the first 2 games of any series. You have to go back to 1999. They hit 10 home runs in the first 2 games against the Twins. This broken bat bloop is caught, 2 outs. So not to be taken for granted, Mariners have been hitting it over the fence a lot against the Diamondbacks first 2 games. Young, this is sliced to the gap in left center field. Cole Young aboard. He's got himself a 2-out single. Productive night for the Mariners second baseman.
And this is a tough pitch. This is a fastball in the inner half of the plate. Cole Young, really good direct just movement straight to that baseball. Is able to fight it off and hit a line drive in left center field gap. Going back to his really productive at bat in the last time up in the sac fly to right field with 2 strikes, finishing out the night strong.
Young safe at first, diving back. Canzone batting with 2 outs and a man aboard. At the end of the bat, rolled over to second base. Marte to first. Side retired. On to the ninth inning. Alex Hoppe is coming on to get the final 3 outs. Tonight's Overlake Medical Center scoreboard, 5-0 Mariners. Diamondbacks have been held to 3 hits, all singles tonight. Alex Hoppe is on to work for the Mariners. Hoppe, a rookie, acquired this offseason, was pitching in AAA with the Red Sox last year. In fact, he was locker mates with a man who just pitched, Cooper Criswell. Both coming over from the Boston organization. Here is the top of the order and Ketel Marte. Mariners are 3 outs away from getting above 500 for the first time since March 30th. And on the hands, a little bloop. Caught. 1 out. Young underneath it. Here comes Corbin Carroll.
So much credit to the Mariners pitching staff tonight, being able to keep these 1, 2, 3 hitters, the Diamondbacks lineup quiet the entire game.
And Marte hitless in this series. He came in riding an 11-game hit streak. One where he was batting over 500. Carroll 0 for 3 tonight. 2 hits last night for the Seattle Products.
Well, you know what Corbin Carroll was looking for here in this 1-0 count. He ends up getting a slider that bounces right on top of home plate. Takes a big swing and a miss at it.
Fastball to 98 rises high. 2-1. Two and 2. Diamondbacks came in here red hot, and now the Mariners 2 outs away from a series win. On the ground, Young's got it. 2 down. Diamondbacks down to their final out.
Cole Young's been busy tonight over there, making some great plays. That was a routine one for him, but he's made some tremendous plays tonight, especially going to his backhand up the middle.
Boy, it doesn't even really feel like the Diamondbacks have put the ball in play hard all that often tonight. But a lot of strikeouts and groundouts.
No, in the first pitch of the game, Ketel Marte hit a line drive to right field. Luke Raley, tough play for him. Ever since then, though, has been much loud contact. Perdomo has batting gloves on now, by the way. He didn't like the no batting glove feel.
Diamondbacks down to their final strike. Oh, 2. Takes low. Hoppe trying to finish the night here on a 1-2. Mariners winning last night in 10 and trying to pitch a shutout tonight in game 2. 2-2. The sails out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Emerson has homered tonight, 1 of 4 for the Mariners. Julio, Raley, and Canzone. 4 home runs in the first 3 innings by the M's. Another 2-2. Put a good pass on 96 in the upper part of the zone. Criswell and Hoppy in back of Wu, who went 7. He's not biting on that pitch low.
No, that's a really good take right there. All over the fastball pitch before. Great take on the slider down. This is what we saw Perdomo do all night last night.
Here comes a 3-2. He takes, does not go. That's the first walk issued tonight by the Mariners. Comes with 2 outs in the 9th inning. You know what? That's the first walk from either side tonight, in fact. How about that? Wow. That would have been a real baseball rarity. Moreno takes up and in. They give Perdomo second base. One out away now. The 1-0. Now it feels like the Mariners are maybe really starting to build some momentum. A sweep in Sacramento, winning last night walk-off style, and 1 out away from a second straight series win.
They're doing such a good job of scoring early in these games and setting the tone.
Two and 2, and once again Diamondbacks down to their final strike. Everybody waiting for that 27th out. Time call. This finds the backstop. Coming home now, and oh man. There goes the shutout. Perdomo scores from second. What exactly happened there?
What happened there is Hoppy decided not to cover home. This was less than ideal. Obviously, the game situation, you can feel the energy in the field, and he's trying to point Garver in the right direction. Has no idea what Perdomo's doing, and Perdomo never really slowed down, took right advantage of it.
Ground ball up the middle. Crawford ranging to first base. Ball game. Mariners win it. They have won the series. They've taken 5 straight games. And for the first time since March 30th, the Mariners are over 500.
Well, you have to go back to May 13th, the last time these Diamondbacks lost the series when they played the Rangers. So they came in red hot, but the Mariners bats have done a tremendous job early in games, setting the tone. And obviously the long ball is playing a massive factor in that. The 2 home runs in the second inning, 2 home runs in the third inning to get to Ryan Nelson quickly in this game, set the tone.
Well, we've seen the Mariners at times this year. Looks like they're about to take off, and then something stalls out. But that series in Sacramento was such a complete and lopsided series in the Mariners' favor. And to their great credit, after a day off at home, they have taken these first 2 games in very different styles. The walk-off last night, more of a lopsided affair tonight in game 2, but they've taken the series against a team that's been playing lights out baseball, and now they have a chance for their 2nd straight sweep tomorrow.
It looks like one of the starts to something special and almost